Welcome to the Trading Daddies podcast, where I am waiting to get the vaccine because I'm excited to have a third nipple. Nico Reyes here, as always, my amazing co-host,
Teflon John.
Tefleezy Fosheezy. Neo Day is upon us. Oh my God, I'm so excited about Neo Day and Monday. I've never been so excited for a Monday in my life. I mean, I'm always excited for Monday.
I'm always excited
I'm
for.
always happy. I'm always happy for Monday. But I think this particular Monday, we're going to see some nice Neo tendies, which I'm super excited about. What else did we talk about today?
Talked about stock of the week. Oh, another one.
Another stock of the week. Amazing segment by John. Our plays for the week, some current events. I heard Donnie Pump is now starting an OnlyFans because he's banned from every single website. So stay tuned. As always, tradingdaddies.com. Follow us on Instagram at Trading Daddies. Hi. Hi. And then if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to hit us up in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the post notification bell so you guys get a ding, ding, ding every time you drop a new episode. And with that being said, let's get to the episode. Welcome to Trading Daddies podcast. We are now week 2 of Looking for Jack Ma. As always, your co-host Nico Reyes, and I can't do the show without him.
Teflon
The one,
John.
the only.
Oh, just John. Anticlimactic. Okay.
And dude, how are you?
I'm all right, man. I mean, as a parent, you're always busy. You're always on you're always on your toes, and you're always on the edge of your seat. Can't complain though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fatherhood is one of the greatest joys of life.
You know what? I just told someone about that.
Yeah.
Because back on our Discord channel, I forgot to tell you, we have a lot of expecting dads.
We do.
Yeah. One of them's Kevin.
Yeah. Congrats, Kevin, by the way. Congrats, Kevin.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin. And then
Ricky too.
we have one that just had a baby too, and then he's having a hard time balancing both.
That's hard.
Yeah,
Definitely hard.
And my biggest say on that one is I told him, I spoke to him like a few days ago. Don't trade and drive.
Yeah, you don't want to watch your kids and trade at the same time.
No, it's not bad. It's dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is dangerous. Can you imagine missing, not setting up a stop loss, and then you see your position dipping, and you can't make a move because you're holding a bottle and a baby?
While driving?
Not while driving.
What are you talking about?
I thought you said having a baby. Like,
I'm talking about trading and driving at the same time.
oh, you're not supposed to do that either. That's frowned upon, by the way.
Yeah.
You're not like, you know how hard it is to have one hand on the wheel and you're like looking at your positions. Also, that's illegal.
Dude, I've got pulled over for texting and driving. Anyways, that's another story. But yeah, man, how was your week?
My trading week has been amazing. I'm plus 3K for the week. I did hop in. I did put some updates on yesterday's Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm in Apple. I got 2 call options for Apple. I am riding Apple until after earnings. I really do believe they had a good killer Q4, and we're looking at a space in Apple where they're gonna pretty much beat earnings, in my opinion. On top of that, we're looking at the stock on an upswing. So my price target for those call options is roughly around the 140-ish mark if it ever gets there, and I have time until February before those close anyways. Wow. I got into a new stock, BNGO, Bionanogenomics, which is a Kathy Woods play. Caught 500 shares of that. And they have a catalyst coming up on the 11th. So they have a symposium to show, essentially it's their demo week, to show investors what they actually do. And they did an offering this past week, which we saw some downward pressure, but it bounced off the EMA 9, which is a really, really bullish sign for us. So I'm in there. I'm still holding Palantir. We're seeing a cup forming on Palantir. So for those technical analysis heads, we could potentially see a cup and handle, which is a really, really good sign. and I'm in
Well,
Neo. I bought more Neo.
going back, I'm sorry to interrupt, bro. For our listeners and our viewers, our fans, whatever, can you explain briefly what an offering is and why it's bad for the stock and the
So
shareholders?
yeah, so an offering is a way for for companies to gain more capital, right?
Yep.
So what they do is they say, hey, we have these amount of shares. We're going to release those to the public at this specific price. What happens is in the short term is there comes some downward pressure because of the amount the pricing of the shares that were given out. So
Hmm.
hold on a second. Let me adjust my. There we go. I look better now. All right. So there is some downward pressure that happens because of the dilution of the shares. But what it is for long-term investors, it is a buying opportunity. And what's great about offerings is because they're offering more shares, it doesn't necessarily mean that the company's crappy. It just means that they have bigger plans for the future.
Um, yeah, sorry to interrupt again. So Tesla, since a lot of people trade Tesla, Tesla had two offerings within the past 6 months.
Yeah.
So back in September and then one in December.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when the offerings happened, it felt like it was another day.
Yeah. So it got bought up the same day.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, offerings could, like what you said, could be good or bad. When it comes to Tesla's story, I guess it was good for them because they're raising capital.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, though: there are shady companies,
Yup.
terrible companies. We're talking about penny stocks, low cap stocks, um, that just abuse, offerings
Mm-hmm.
like here on out. I've seen, low cap companies put out offerings that completely destroys, the share price.
Exactly.
So when an offering happens, majority of the time, the stock comes down.
Yeah.
The share price comes
That's
down.
just
So
natural, though. But
yeah,
if you
just
are
be
long
careful.
term on a specific company and you see an offering, don't think of it as a time to get out. If you really do believe in this company, and we're assuming this is just our assumption that if you are in a position, you've done your research and you've done the necessary work in order for you to fully believe in this position because you don't want to be speculating, you don't want to be that guy that YOLO'd everything on LTM like me or Luckin Coffee. You're not that guy. You're just not that person to go all hands on a stock that you don't believe in to begin with. But we have an amazing show for you guys today. It's actually pretty cool because we have so much to talk about. First things first, we want to answer some questions that that came up on our Instagram. John posted a couple days ago what you did with your stimmy money. What are the best responses for the stimmy, my guy?
So it's funny because I had that post for a few days, and I've gotten some good responses and some funny ones.
Okay.
So when I posted it on my Instagram, a few had mentioned, what did you spend your stimulus money on? Okay, and the first one was someone answered, I bought the dip,
Great
which is
answer.
good because you would be up right
You
now.
would be
You'd be
up
up
right
at least
now.
10%. Yeah, when you got your first stimulus money, yeah, you bought the dip. You bought the dip. You got some money back. Well, you got more money back
Can I
now.
interrupt real quick?
Uh,
Wasn't that like kind of like a beautiful scenario? The stimmy hit bank accounts and then the dip happened.
well, yeah, it's all planned, bro. Um, Someone had answered, 300 to stocks, 200 for for Target. Target as in Target?
Like
Target
like
or groceries?
stuff?
Or what are we talking about?
Like buying stuff?
Probably stuff from Target because every time you go to Target, you leave with $200 worth of stuff.
You do,
Really,
you do.
that's why I hate going there. That's why I do curbside pickup.
Yes. No
It's
impulse
so
buys.
convenient, so
You don't you
convenient.
don't
Like
no impulse buys?
exactly when you dude, like Target has so much useless crap, man. I'm sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but the stock's strong. And $100 for myself. $100 don't really go far anymore. Um, Check this out. Someone said, "Wish I got a stimulus."
Wow, you must be rich, rich.
Well, excuse you.
Yeah. I mean, we wish to be you. Like, if
I
you
know,
didn't
right?
get a stimmy, there's only two reasons why you didn't get a stimmy. The first reason is you didn't pay your taxes. Well, you should have paid your taxes. So I think that's on you for not paying your taxes and you didn't get a stimmy. But the other side of that coin is you're rich, rich. So in that
Yeah.
case, if you're rich, rich and you didn't get a stimmy, we wish to be you.
Someone had answered, "I want a Trading Daddies tattoo."
Somebody, this guy,
Bro, when DraftKings email us with, "Hey, Trading Daddies, I have a great proposition for you guys."
Oh man, I'm gonna get a Trading Daddy.
That's when I'm gonna put a Trading Daddy tattoo.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Check this out. This is one of my favorites. Someone wrote, "My crypto portfolio and trading forex."
Wow.
Big up to you.
Hey,
Hey,
to you. Big plan.
Crypto's ripping right now. I mean, I got some light.
Did it hit 40?
Oh, it blew past 40.
It blew past 40? You're telling me that Bitcoin is past $40,000?
Yeah, man. I was just looking at it earlier. Here, let's pull it up right now. Yeah, currently, right now, 5 o'clock, it's at 40,160.
40,000? Oh my God! Let me check my Coinbase.
Dude, 1 Bitcoin equals, I don't know, a nice BMW. Anyways, check this out. Someone wrote, "Guns, hookers, and blow." Wow, Jesus Christ!
The holy trifecta, the degenerate trifecta.
Wow, I didn't know $600 can go that far.
Let me try to look at the economics of this whole. Like at $600, I could see the gun at $250.
No, because I know this guy. He ain't got no kids. He's not married, so he only got $600. All right. So guns, hookers, and blow.
Yeah, you could get a dime sack or you get a dub sack of blow for relatively. I mean, for $20 for sure. A gun, that's what, $250, $350.
I mean, you go to Monday. Yeah, you can get one for like.
So if you do $350, you're left with what? $150? Is that right? Is my math off? 400? No, $250. If you do $350, is that off? I'm so bad at math, dude. I shouldn't be trading. Like, isn't that?
Well, how much you gonna tip the hooker?
Hold on one second. Let me do this math real quick. $350. Yeah, $250 left over. You're probably gonna use 100 of that on the yayo. $150 for a hooker. Where are you getting this hooker from? I want to know that. Because geographically, wherever you tag that lady of the night, really tells me how much the pricing should be. Because we know that sector of the market is geographically priced.
I don't even know what you're talking about. We're talking about different hooker markets.
No, all right, dude.
We're talking about like Walnut Creek would be a lot priced. You know, it'd be priced higher than Pittsburgh market.
Yes, it's a geographic commodity.
We're talking about California here, by the way.
It's a geographic commodity. I do believe this is geographic commodity. Also, supply and demand. They're cheaper in Vegas because of the supply.
I'm just nodding.
This is economics. This is basic economics. Next topic. Next answer.
Go to a bunny ranch or something. Next one, someone had mentioned, again, did not get one.
Okay, so you're rich too. Or you didn't pay taxes. Sir,
Yeah.
If you didn't pay taxes, please do yourself a favor and pay taxes. Maybe you could get the next stimmy.
Hey, talking about stimmy, there's another one that's coming.
I heard we're getting 2K now.
It's creeping.
Is it creeping up?
No, it's that 2K stimulus is creeping. It's creeping on the low. Yeah, it's coming.
Did you hear about, how there's an elf on the shelf? Did you ever see this meme? It was an elf on a shelf, and then there's Jimmy Neutron holding a stimulus check. It's a Jimmy with a stimmy.
Here, we got more IG Q&A. So I'm just gonna say it. Ricky had asked, if you had to pick one episode, which one is your favorite?
I have 2 episodes. Actually, no. I'm gonna say this. I have 3 favorite episodes, right? But my favorite episode of all is our first ever episode.
Man, our first episode, I was so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I was too, but I feel like, the first episode is always the best one because that's what basically launched all of this, right? And then there's so many other episodes sprinkled along the way. The episode with Ricky, I love that episode. The episode with Jay, that was amazing. The episode with Zach, that was pretty good too, especially the one with Kevin. So every single episode that we had a guest on was amazing shows, but to me, my favorite will always be episode number 1.
Dude, my favorite episode is going to be probably episode 100.
Oh, we're on the way. We're on our way. We are definitely on our way.
Also, we got a serious question. Well, they're all serious questions. Will ticker symbol PTE be big this year?
What's your answer?
Well, we spoke about it.
Yeah.
We looked at it. PTE is, first of all, the market cap. It's a micro cap stock. Okay, and the float meaning shares outstanding, it's tiny as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's at 60 million. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one.
44.
44. Oh, that's dangerously low. And any pop, you might see an offering here and there. Mm-hmm. But I haven't really done much research on PTE, so I can't really comment on this one. But to the person who asked that question, Kevin Kev, it's hard to answer that question because the company itself, I don't want to say it's like an aerotine.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing that we always preach on this podcast is make sure that when you are trying to get into a position, make sure that you do your research full hand. Based on what we're looking at right here, it's a biotech company. It used to be an entertainment company that pivoted over to regenerative medicine and diagnosis. Those are very iffy plays to me. Let's take a look, for example, historically. Let's look at Kodak, right?
Oh.
Kodak is a prime example of this. So Kodak decided that, okay, let's make a vaccine. And then what happened? They pivoted from a camera company to a vaccine play in the middle of a pandemic. So the stock skyrocketed. But what happened afterwards is people bought at the top thinking that they would go higher, and they lost all their cash at the downturn.
Oh, don't forget, Kodak was going to get into blockchain as well.
They were going to get into blockchain. So how many times are these companies going to pivot in order for them to find a way for them to find some profits? Think about it this way, right? There's nothing wrong about a company pivoting if the company pivots in a way that it's in their lane. Take a look at Tesla, for example. Tesla is a company that builds cars, right?
Now it's a technology company.
Now it's a technology company, and now it's turning into a utilities company, right? So the way that they're pivoting is still in energy, right? It's still in energy, but they have different type of segments. For me to read that this is a an entertainment company that wants to get into biotech, that to me is kind of a red flag. Also,
that's kind of tough.
Right. We saw the chart too on the daily chart. It looks like it was roughly around 70 cents, 80 cents, and then it popped all the way to $1.32. So right there, if you're trying to find an entry point currently, I wouldn't even try to enter because of the technicals. The technicals show me that it's too high right now. You got to wait until a pullback happens before you even hop in. Again, we may be wrong with this, but based on what we're looking at right now, I would stay away just to make sure that you're protecting your profits or you're protecting your capital, because you never know.
That's a tough gig, yeah.
That's definitely tough. If PTE decides to commit and decide to come out with proper research or whatnot and show us that it is a viable company, I would probably wait until the stock hits around 5 before investing, because at $5 you could see more people piling in because of the value,
Yeah.
right?
Plus, you gain more trust once your market cap, gets into, I don't know, half a billion or a billion at least.
So the
You
market
get
cap, we've
more.
we've talked about market cap too, and this is something that John taught me at the very beginning of my trading career. He was like, "Your new stocks like this that have a smaller market cap and smaller pricing is very attractive because of the
Mhm.
price. You could get more shares, more bang for your buck. But it's not something that you hold. You day trade these out, right?
Yeah.
If you see strength, you get in, you get out, right? But he's told me, he keeps on telling me this, that if you're looking at a stock and if it's below $1 billion when you're starting out trading, don't even bother, because anything below $1 billion, there's no stability in that company.
Yeah. But don't give up, because fuel cell ticker symbol FCEL
Hmm.
and Plug Energy PLUG used to be penny
They
stocks.
used to be, yeah,
I think 8 to 10 years ago, dude, I was trading them. They were in the penny stocks.
but they were
Penny stock.
that was 8 years ago. So in order for
Yeah,
this specific to play to really pan out, you're looking at a long term investment if it is viable. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
That,
don't
that that's a
Yeah.
yeah
So
that's
don't
a tough
expect
one.
it to be $1 today and 20 tomorrow,
Hmm.
right? It's not Kodak.
Moving on.
But thank you for the question. We really do, we like it. We had Kenny who sent us a message. Who answered that question too. Who asked that question, asking if what what we use as part of charting that determines our plays,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
What's your answer to that?
For charting,
Yep.
a lot of things. But so I used to have all of these different indicators, right? At one point I was using like at least 10. Um, you name it. Like we're talking about VWAP, you're talking about RSI, MACD, stochastics, volume. Um, Now I simplified it where, after trial and error, obviously, in years of trading and investing, you somewhat toned it down. Well, I toned it down at least to just only using, RSI, which is the relative strength index. We're just going to go through a crash course. RSI is when, you know, in my opinion, if it's anything above 80, 70 or 80, if it's anything above 70 or 80, that's overbought. So potentially it can come down. The price can rest. The share price can rest. Now, if it's below 30 or 20, or even lower, it's oversold. So it has the potential to technically bounce. Okay. Um, MACD is what we're looking at. MACD, a little crash course, is the convergence and divergence. I know it's a big word, but what you're really looking for is the curl, the crossover, and we're gonna dig deeper into the crossovers. If you guys join the Discord group, we post charts over there. If it'll be a lot easier for you to see once you join. But the MACD is a really such strong indicator that helps you trade. It doesn't matter if you're trading or investing. What you really look for is the crossover. I also use the EMAs. It's called the exponential moving averages. So it kind of gives you an idea of where the price can go and where the price can sit or break out potentially, because the moving average itself, it's a live thing. Okay, because it's taking that average of the price from, I don't know, we're talking about previous month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year, whatever time frame you're using. But yeah, I keep it simple now. I only use RSI, MACD, and then the exponential moving averages, and it's working out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need 20 or 30 indicators in front of you, because you're just going to confuse yourself. Again, the theme for this year is less equals more. So the more you keep it simple, the better. At least in my opinion. I've seen some wins on that one, so that's my take on that one.
Nice. I pretty much trade the same way John does, but I did add the VWAP to my arsenal in the past year. What I find on the VWAP is it's a great way to snipe your entries, especially if you're chart watching. Obviously, in order for us to find the price action on a daily basis, you use a daily chart. But if you're trading intraday and you're chart watching all day anyways, I use the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart to see where the price action is throughout the day. And the VWAP essentially is a way for me to find if at that certain day, if the current price is either overpriced or underpriced. So if you see the pricing, the candle underneath the VWAP and the EMA 9 is underneath, right? It's kind of hooking and it's laying down there underneath the VWAP. That means that it's underpriced. Now, if I'm looking for an entry point, I use the VWAP as it curls up, and I also match it with the MACD. If I see some type of upward momentum, to me, 2 candles is enough for me to say, hey, I'm going to hop in this trade because I probably saw the bottom already, and then I'm going to hop in that trade. Some people use the VWAP as a clear indicator. Some people use the VWAP as a means to determine whether or not their entry is right or not. Because if your candle is hovering or tapping the VWAP and it breaks through that VWAP, you're in for a good ride up north. And then once you see the candle dipping towards the VWAP, some people use it as support. So if the price keeps on bouncing from the VWAP and it hasn't broken underneath, they're still pretty bullish, and then that's when they'll take their exit. So there's numerous ways to use the VWAP, but I use it as primarily to tell me if it's underpriced or overpriced. So if I hear a play and I'm looking at it and I see it on the 15 or 5-minute chart and I see that it's above the VWAP, I'm not taking that trade. That's just my personal discipline, and I'm not going to do it. Nice. And I could be wrong. Sometimes it just stays above there, and I'm not going to be able. Then that would be on me for missing that play. But I'm not going to have any regrets, because if I hop in and it dips below the VWAP, you know what? I'm done. Right. Another question from the Discord today is shout out to the brother-in-law Ferdy. Thoughts on Neo Day? Let's talk about Neo Day. Neo Day has been highly anticipated in the past 2 months. We've been talking about Neo for so long. Neo is a Chinese electronic vehicle company, a Chinese electronic vehicle company that's actually backed by the CCP, and It is, dude, this is amazing news. This is amazing news, and we've been trading Neo for as long as we could remember. John's been trading it since the 14s. I've been trading it since the 20s. A lot of our Discord members have Neo, and if you're playing the stock market, if you don't have Neo, you don't have Neo. But
it's like, I mean, picture it this way. So here in the U.S., it's like Tesla's number 1 and then Neo's number 2.
Exactly, in terms of EV plays.
But I'm talking about when in China, they'll probably be like, number 1's Neo, and Tesla's probably like number 3 or something.
3, yeah. Which is very interesting. I'm going to get into a bearish point later, right? But let's take a look at Neo Day. Dude, they're launching an ET7 sedan, which is a luxury sedan. They don't have any sedans in their current lineup of vehicles. They're all primarily SUVs. To have a luxury sedan, that is huge, because now there's going to be a whole segment of people who really just don't want SUVs and would rather have a sedan.
Well, what's the starting price? Because it's a luxury.
It's a luxury sedan, so it's roughly around $84K, right?
That's U.S. dollars.
U.S. dollars, right? So it's similar to a Porsche. What's really cool about this, the most advanced model they have, it boasts 625 miles per hour and 625 mile range.
Well, wait, what was the miles per hour? I think you.
Oh, 625 horsepower. I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
There you go. I was like 600.
I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, that's light speed. Yeah, 625 horsepower. Oh, thank you for correcting me.
There you go.
And then 625-mile range. That's crazy. I mean, I get
that's like from San Francisco to what? L.A.
Yeah,
and back.
and back.
Half
No, and back,
and back. Yeah.
and back.
It's on charge.
Yeah, on one charge,
But
and back. That's crazy. It's actually a really good. That's a really good, good range. But it's also dependent on a solid state battery. So for those that don't know, a solid state battery is essentially just one pack of batteries. Pretty amazing. And you know what? Who else is making solid state batteries? QS. QuantumScape. The reason why QuantumScape shot up in price is because solid state batteries are now the new wave, and they're going to. It's essentially a breakthrough in battery technology. John's doing the whole.
no, because I've traded QS and it's been paying out.
But now that you look at it, it's making sense why QS and Neo is kind of going up and up, hand in hand. I don't know if QS is actually Neo isn't using QS batteries. That's for sure, because it's well known that they're using CATL as their battery supplier, and now they've created a battery that's even 50% more efficient, and on top of that, the battery swap stations 2.0. So we know that Neo right here is doing something very interesting, and they've been doing this for a while now, and this is their primary business model. They use battery as a service. So battery as a service means that you pay a monthly charge, and then you see a battery charging station or battery swapping station. You go in there, they take out the battery, they swap in the new battery, and then you can go on your merry way. I think it's about 15 minutes to get that done, right, for a full battery. And the battery swapping 2.0, they're actually increasing the batteries to 13 full batteries. 13 full batteries, right? They could actually do 312 swaps a day. That's a lot.
That's a lot of driving, man.
I mean, that's a lot of driving. No, I mean, 312 customers come in, and in one single day, they could conduct 312 swaps.
Doesn't seem much, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a million.
Oh, yeah.
Swapping stations.
Yeah. Then they're actually upping that number by the end of 2022. They're gonna have more than what they currently have in terms of battery swapping stations.
Imagine, bro. Imagine the Jiffy Lubes.
Yeah. Imagine Jiffy Lube everywhere.
Yeah, they're going to be turned into a battery swapping station instead of an oil thing.
But the batteries are not going to be available until Q4 of 2022. So,
man, this sounds like a leap call. What are you trying to say?
This is a leap call. I'm telling you, get your leaps ready, right? Get your leaps ready. On top of that, they announced autonomous driving. Autonomous driving is now going to be a service. So on top of what you're paying Neo as a battery service, they created a new segment for them to create more revenue, to generate more revenue by using autonomous driving as a service.
Whoa, wait, question. So what you're trying to say is that if I don't want to subscribe for an autonomous service, that's separate. Is that what you're saying?
The ability to drive autonomously is separate, but it can be turned on by subscribing. The hardware is inside.
That's smart.
Hardware is already embedded.
Yeah, right? That's smart.
But here's the kicker. For those who are invested in NVDA, expect some movement come Monday, because NVIDIA is Neo's partner in this self-autonomous driving technology.
That's crazy.
So it's bananas. This is actually a few breakthroughs in the whole in the whole EV market, because you're seeing not just one specific company being able to capitalize on the whole EV sector, but other companies are actually joining the fray in terms of making EVs a real reality. Also, notable honorable mention, Qualcomm is actually in the Neo cars. Their Snapdragon processor is powering their panels.
Wow.
So for Monday, the plays could be Neo, QCOM, and Nvidia.
Yep.
Those three, watch those because I feel like there's going to be a lot to go in there.
And
QS2, as we see, solid state battery plays. But that's Neo Day. My bearish sentiment on Neo, and I just want to be, it's not that I'm not a Neo bull. I like what they're doing. My bearish sentiment on Neo is these are plans for future actualizations. These are not commercially ready yet, right? The ET7 is not even available until I think late Q4 for this year or even next year.
What are you talking? What are you trying to say? Leap calls?
Leap calls. So if you are bullish in Neo, it's not too late to enter now. We are gonna see. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna see a big pop on Monday, but also be prepared for some downtrend because people will sell off, right? And as a trader, we want that. We want to see people sell off
because I'm not a Neo, so
because I want to be able to get in another call option for the cheap and then ride it until we see some more, deliveries and all that cool stuff. Because the name of the game is not for short-term pops anymore. If you see a short-term pop, take your profits or whatever because you know that it's gonna go into downtrend. You don't want to be bag holding that option for a while. But we're gonna see some good gains on Monday, so be prepared for that.
Neo, man, my take on that one, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for a dip. It won't come down. I mean, Monday it dipped 9%.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna break support. It didn't. Yep. Following day, it bounced back up like there was nothing.
Yep.
But I am gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if Neo has at least 2 offerings this year alone.
Oh, easy.
They're still a smaller company compared to a giant like Tesla. I mean, Neo's market cap, where is it at? I think 70 billion, I think. 60, 70? I'm not sure.
Now that you mention it, I do feel like an offering will come in the next week or two.
Yeah, because they haven't done an offering since, I don't know. It's been a while.
I think it's been a couple months.
And, I mean, the stock rose thousands of percent alone in 1 year.
In 1 year.
Yeah, and shout out to the ones that have Neo in their portfolio in the Discord channel. Man, I'm seeing all these profits. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Great job. Great trade on that one. And I think Ferdy's holding Neo still, right?
Yeah, Ferdy's still holding Neo. He's actually really good. He and I have been planning on getting out. We were supposed to get out on Friday, but we saw some type of a sell-off midday, and we're like, you know what? I'm holding this.
You know what? I don't want to say I was disappointed with Battery Day with Tesla because Battery Day took a crap.
No, it did take a crap. But we were waiting for Tesla to come out with a 1,000,000-mile battery.
Yeah, but
that never came into play.
It seemed like everyone was pumping it and everyone's actually holding on to it. Mm-hmm. So
I was on the wrong end of that trade.
Big difference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's whatever.
Yeah, it is whatever. So, John, what is our stock of the week, my guy?
Oh, bro, we haven't done a stock of the week in a while.
We haven't.
We've been busy. We've been busy with guest appearances and here and there. But the stock of the week, check this out. You're actually going to like this one. Does it remind you of something? Ticker symbol CMCSA.
Oh, I like that.
Comcast. Well, actually, they just sent me a text, so I was like, you know what? Comcast is telling me that we miss you and all because of the move, and they're telling me that I have a credit because I returned their the router or the box, the modem. So they're giving me a credit, which is good. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So I like money in the mail. But ticker symbol CMCSA. I used to be an ex customer. They currently trade at 51.60. Mm-hmm. I am a shareholder. Okay,
Wait, I just right now.
51.60. Yeah, it bounced. Yeah. So currently I'm up 2% on my my position, but really I'm the reason that I'm bullish on CMCSA is because of a lot of things. Okay, with a market cap of 235 billion. So if you guys want to compare something, AT&T, which is its counterpart, I would say its biggest competitor, AT&T, which is boo boo. Even though I have AT&T service, phone service, I use man, we can go on and on and on with AT&T internet and cable. It was boo boo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, AT&T's market cap is at $206 billion. Okay, so Comcast is slightly bigger by like 10%. So, and also 52-week low was at 3170. I think that was back in
Yeah.
the pandemic days. Man, I wish I grabbed plenty of shares, but who knew?
Mm-hmm.
52-week high is at 5249. So what you're seeing right now, it's currently on an uptrend right now that it's about to break out. Okay, so that's the main reason I want to long Comcast this year is because there's more. So it's under the communication sector and the media industry. Okay, um, Comcast is more than a cable company. I mean, a lot of people knew that, but for the folks who've never heard of Comcast before, they're also a technology company, and here's the reason why. So the company has two primary businesses. One is Comcast Cable, and then the other is NBC Universal, which was actually a good takeover. Comcast Cable provides cable, high-speed internet, and voice services. I think we knew that. However, the NBC Universal segment operates cable networks.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them being obviously NBC, and if you guys are aware, Telemundo, which I used to watch all the time.
I like Telemundo. I like. Have you ever seen that one movie called Fun with Dick and Jane?
In Spanish?
No, not in Spanish. But
Oh,
you know how like in Fun with Dick and Jane, their kid was basically raised by the nanny, and then
yeah,
when they
no,
were getting repossessed, they were like, "Don't take my Telemundo! Don't take my Telemundo!"
and then at that time when they ripped off the fake grass.
No, it wasn't fake grass; it was Jamaican bluegrass. But they ripped it out. They repoed the grass,
No, they grabbed some from the neighbors.
and then the kid goes, "Look at all this dirt!"
All right. Um, where was I? All right. So they also own. They also operate Telemundo. They also operate broadband TV, film, and theme parks. If you guys don't know theme parks, they operate the one in Florida and one in Hollywood, California.
And Japan.
Is there one in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
Universal
Thank
Tokyo.
you. All right. So the reason I chose CMCSA as the stock of the week is because of its current trajectory. All right. If you guys look at the 1 year chart, it's obviously on an uptrend. And if you're seeing an uptrend chart, you always want to buy the dip and then sell the rip, unless you're holding the stock. So if you're dollar cost averaging, it doesn't even matter. You just keep dumping money in there because it pays a dividend. Okay, so
Ooh.
check this out. Yeah,
How about
um,
Gabe?
it's Gabe. You love dividends. All right. So currently on an upward trend. Plus, it's at a 52-week high, meaning there's a chance, which is a good chance, that it's going to break out even higher. I believe in its long-term potential. Plus, it pays about 23 cents per share per quarter. So annual dividend yield is at 1.79, which is not bad if you own like thousands of shares. Um, it's not bad because you always have money coming in. That is one of my biggest reasons. Okay. Plus it's only $52. I
Yeah.
mean, anyone can afford that. So you always have money coming in every 3 months. Also, Comcast has a 10-year consecutive dividend increase.
Explain that to the people. And also explain that to me because I don't understand that.
Meaning, like every year, they're increasing the dividend annual yield
Oh, okay.
by a certain percentage. Like some companies do 5,
Mm-hmm.
10% here and there. Like a 10% increase of a 1.79 annual yield is what, almost point something.
Mm-hmm.
So that would end up at almost 2%. So which is not bad. I mean, they had a long tenured increase, a dividend increase. That's what I'm saying. I looked back at Comcast back in 2012. Man, this was when I started trading. And Comcast was actually one of the first companies that I looked into. But I didn't invest in it because, I was young, dumb, and a degenerate.
All YOLO calls.
Yeah. So, you and I were both young. I mean, the reason I'm getting into a lot of dividend investing is because, dude, we got time on our hands.
We do.
We got time on our hands. We got time on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, Gabe, if you're listening, this is a stock for you. Also, a little history about Comcast and its background. Comcast is the second largest broadcasting and cable television company in the world by revenue. We're talking about by revenue, not the size, okay? By revenue behind AT&T, okay? Comcast is the largest pay TV company, the largest cable TV company, and the largest home internet service provider. It's called Xfinity in the U.S. And they're coming in third place when it comes to telephone service provider. I'm not sure if people are still doing landlines, really. Why?
I mean, on the home side, I don't see the value in it.
I mean, I can see the business side, yeah, but I don't know about the residential side. The company was first named American Cable Systems back in 1963. That's when the company was founded by the, what was the family's name? Robert Robinson's family? Roberts family. There you go. Roberts family. They're a billionaire company. I think they're like Jewish as well. That's what it says on Wikipedia.
No, Wikipedia.
They had to put their race, right? And then and then they became Comcast after 1969, and then here on there. It is headquartered in Philadelphia, and in 2019. They brought in $108 billion in revenue.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's it. So that's the stock of the week. CMCSA. A little disclaimer: I do own shares of Comcast. I'm going to hold it in my dividend portfolio. I'm not trying to throw shade at AT&T, ticker symbol T. I also own T as well because they pay nice dividends. So it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're owning, both companies, kudos to you because they both pay well.
Yep. So I'm a long-term holder also on Comcast. I have a separate account that just has Comcast in it. So
yeah,
super excited. So let's do some current events. What a week it has been. We lived through a live coup on TV. We still haven't found Jack Ma.
Dude, that's
actually I'm being more alarmed now because we still haven't found Jack Ma.
Sorry to interrupt. So for the ones who are holding Baba, I actually got into Baba again. So Baba is actually currently down right now because Jack Ma is missing. Right. The reason they popped Friday was because they're not on the confirmed list for the listing. There you go. So that's why they popped. A lot of Chinese companies actually popped Friday.
And can you imagine what kind of price action we'll get if they actually find Jack Ma?
Dude, he's probably chilling with Elon Musk or something.
I don't think they're chilling. COVID. So the stimulus is back into play. As John mentioned earlier, news reports have been saying that it's an extra $2,000. An extra $2,000. What are you going to buy with your $2,000 stimmy? I know what I'm going to buy with my $2,000 stimmy. More Palantir. That's just me. That's just me. I'm just going to buy more stocks.
Sucks for those two guys that said they didn't get a stimmy.
Yeah, I mean you're rich anyways, or you didn't pay your taxes. Again, pay your taxes if you didn't. I'm not saying that you didn't pay your taxes, but just you could have gotten a stimmy. So this is the reason why. The Democrats hold all three branches. All. Right? Renewable plays are now going to be even more valuable, as we've seen with Plug Power as we'd seen with is it Blossom BE?
Yeah.
Right.
BE.
Watch Switchback Energy. We saw Blink move back up.
Yeah.
And all these EV plays are going to be a lot more important. I'm actually going to start looking into solar plays. I'm going to start looking more into wind generation plays because this is the future, folks. We are in a situation where we're going to probably get back into the Paris Climate Accords. We're probably going to get back into more renewable resources. Green energy, green jobs are going to make a resurgence. And the roadblocks have been lifted, people. There are no more situations currently in the next maybe 2 years until the next election in 2 years. But in the next 2 years, we could see a scenario where all these players are going to be like maximum profit. As the vaccine gets a lot more distributed, we've already heard that the new administration is going to use the Defense Act in order for us to get the vaccines faster. And I'm still bullish on the vaccine because if I get a third nipple and I get increased peen size, I'm taking the vaccine. Also, if I am told that Bill Gates inserted a 5G chip in there, give me the vaccine. I want the 5G chip. I want to be tracked.
I'll ditch AT&T.
Right? Give me the chip. Come on.
Give me the 5G.
You know what I mean? Like,
let me be the router. I'll charge my neighbor. Be like, you want to use my internet?
Yeah, exactly. I played enough Cyberpunk 2077 to understand that it's okay for me to be a cyborg. It's fine.
Also, I just wanted to butt in when you spoke about the vaccine. Pfizer's vaccine was clinically found that it's effective against, COVID 19.5 S Pro Max.
Oh, the new strain.
Yeah.
So bullish on Pfizer. Did we see any price action on Pfizer?
You know who got in Pfizer? Gabe, because it pays dividends.
It does. Shout out to Gabe. Just another one is Apple is actually in talks with Hyundai for their
Come
EV.
on, man. Hyundai?
Dude, don't knock Hyundai. Don't knock Hyundai. Don't knock Hyundai. I know Hyundai is an H and it's like Honda, but for Korea. Very similar cars. But I own a Hyundai. I like my Hyundai.
No, it's not a knock, man. Come on. And I just remember Kanye.
Kanye and Hyundai. Hyundai. So that's just preliminary talks though. There's really no sure company that Apple is looking at.
Here's the thing though. I thought Apple was looking at, I don't know, look at a brand like, I don't know, BMW or Mercedes or something. Like, we're talking about Apple here, the biggest company in the world.
But that kind of sends out a very weird message. That kind of puts them out of reach, right? If you top a luxury brand,
Apple itself is a luxury brand.
Yeah, I know, but they're trying to capture the masses here. They're going for maximum adoption. So strategically, it makes sense because Hyundai cars are fairly affordable, and I like them. You know what I mean? But that's not going to come to fruition anyway till 2024. So
what are you trying to say?
Leap calls 2024 until.
I think that's a term right now. Every time I ask, so what are you trying to say?
Leap calls 2024. So if you guys are unsure as to what leap calls are essentially a call option that has a long expiration date, probably around 2 points, 3 points above strike right now, above the current pricing. Pick your strikes, maybe 10 points if you're going that far out. But essentially, you're basically betting that around this time, that's pretty much where the stock is going to be and more. So be prepared for more leap calls, because that's essentially what we've found, and the mistakes we've made with short-term call options last year is we bet something and we lose everything. So This year is the year that we're a little bit more conservative. At the same time, we're looking for a better probability of winning. So when we do leap calls, it's a strategy for us to make sure that we're not getting shortchanged. Did you get a haircut? Yep. Nice haircut, by the way, bud. Yeah. I still haven't gotten a haircut. Look at my beard; it's so bad. I'm gonna ask my wife to cut my hair. Tesla, holy hell. Holy hell, Tesla. When are you going to give me an opportunity to buy you? Please. We're at the point where Tesla, there has to be a correction sometime soon, dude. Please express your frustration.
So remember back in September
Yeah.
when we
Splitsville.
were, months ago, whatever. Remember how I bought 500 calls January 15th expiration?
Yeah, I remember you bought 2.
So I bought those, and they were back then they were priced at I think 2,500 per.
Oh yeah. They weren't that expensive.
So that current call, which is expiring next week, it's at 30. It's almost about 38 grand.
Wait. So you're telling me you sold that at what?
Well, I mean, at least I took profit, which was dumb of me. Like
I don't think that's dumb. I think you're being too hard on yourself.
I mean, it was an 8 grand swing.
It was a beautiful 8 grand swing. You made 8 grand.
It was a beautiful 8 grand swing at that time.
You made $8,000 on it.
Yeah, man, but
I mean, what's another
the theme of
30,000?
the theme of this year is investing in long-term plays.
There you go.
Because, again, time in the market always beats timing
The market. Exactly.
the market.
Exactly. And actually, if we're going to look at that lesson right there, I am on also the losing end of that trade. I had 55 shares of Tesla.
At four something, right?
380.
380.
Yeah.
Jesus.
380. Because I DCA'd a lot at the correction. I told
Damn, imagine if you held that. That would have been a 20-something.
I told my wife, and she's like, "Why didn't you help? Why didn't you hold?"
That's the beauty of trading and investing. The shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, right. But then again, that's the problem that we had before. We were trying to time it. We were timing all these plays, and we've learned in the last 3 months that timing these plays aren't always in your favor. Yeah, you'll find a gem or two, right? But without the proper analysis and really giving yourself some time for these plays to mature, right? Especially if you're in options and you're going against time, you better be careful, right? So just for example, my 12.5 Palantir calls, I have no more theta. That means that I am there's like every dollar that Palantir goes up, as long as it stays above $25, my premium goes up by $1.
How's that possible? You sent that to me, and I was like, "Is that a glitch?"
It's not a glitch. I asked Gabe about it, and Gabe was like, "Dude, you don't have any more theta." I'm like, "How does that work?"
You ran out of decay.
I ran out of decay. It's like I'm at 100% in terms of the Greeks, and all I'm doing is I'm enjoying each dollar move up.
Man, I'm gonna get there someday.
So that and that's again time in the market, right? If I didn't give myself enough time to expiration, I wouldn't be enjoying what I have currently in terms of that call option. So that pretty much sums up what time in versus time in the market. Last piece of news, dude. Donnie Pump is banned everywhere.
Twitter. And you know what happened with TWTR? It dumped.
Yeah. Jesus. Donnie Pump is banned on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. He's banned on Shopify. He's banned on Etsy.
Wait, Shopify too?
Yeah. Banned on YouTube.
What about OnlyFans?
Dude, I'm telling you. All right. So yesterday we were watching the news. I don't know the accuracy of this, but I think it's a funny subject where he's banned on YouTube, banned on Twitter, and I heard that he's going around different people trying to have them create an account for him. And he's like and then they keep getting banned. Like the people that tweet for him are getting banned. Can you imagine him running around the White House like, "Can you make me a Twitter account?" Can you make me a Twitter account? Can you
Hey,
imagine that? And like
no lie, bro. No lie. Like in the past, 4 years, he was dubbed Donnie Pump.
Donnie Pump, we had a segment about him. I mean,
Yeah,
even if you agree or disagree with his policies, he did move markets.
he
He did
did with
move
one
markets.
tweet.
He moved markets. I mean, he moved markets in good ways. He moved markets in bad ways. But this is an era where Donnie Pump is no longer part of the arsenal. So, I mean,
You know what?
if you're using him as a signal caller,
Yeah.
you better find another signal caller.
Now we have the internet always wins. I saw this earlier. The Biden bump.
Oh my God! Shout out to Wall Street Bets for always coming up with the freshest ideas. Damn, the Biden bump. So now we're like looking at other like I'm thinking of other things that he could do. Like, can you imagine him starting an OnlyFans? OnlyDon's?
Man, there's so many lawsuits after his term.
There's like, can you imagine him just going on OnlyFans trying to see if he could drum up some more some more supporters through OnlyFans? Also, there was one meme that says that he's on Grinder.
Oh, the internet wins.
Oh God, I love the internet. God, I love the internet. But there. So back to that topic. I just want to forewarn people. There are some reports that there may be another march on the Capitol on the 17th,
Yep.
which is fairly scary. So if you are holding certain positions, you might want to, get cash ready.
Yeah.
Get cash ready. Start liquidating because you want to be able to. You don't want to be bag holding any bad speculative stocks, especially on that kind of downtrend.
It's like PTE.
Right. So with that being said, plays of the week, my guy.
Well, I wanted to let you know QS Quantum Skate was actually one of my plays. I played it a couple of times last week. Paid out very well. Nvidia, because Neo really caught my attention because I was playing AMD last week and paid well. Actually, AMD paid well. Qualcomm, I was actually debating either. Actually, you know what? I'm still in Qualcomm in one of my portfolios.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll check that out Monday, and I mean that's it. So QS, Nvidia, and QCOM.
Nice. For me, Neo will be the play for Monday. I am not going to play Nvidia. I am not going to play QS or QCOM because I feel that I've already missed that wave. And that's just me being sticking to my strategies and sticking to my discipline. I am, however, looking into Alibaba because somehow, one way or the other, bro, we're gonna find him. Once we find him, you better be prepared for those Alibaba attendees. FedEx is good. As I said earlier, I got into Apple, and I got into BNGO. So hopefully those are my plays for the week. I found myself not trading a whole lot.
And you get more stuff done, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Well, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add on to that. I started a position in SPCE.
Yeah.
So I got shares and I got calls on that one. The daily chart looks nice. I think we're gonna see some uptrend on that one. You mentioned FedEx, FDX. I got 50 shares. I'm down like $80 on that one. But if you look at the daily chart, man, that's going to be a nice bounce right there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going to take some time because it's a big company. It's a 80 billion market cap, so it moves slow, slightly slower. We're still in Costco, Salesforce, LMT, Walmart, you name it.
Yep.
Oh, a little disclaimer: I do own Asan, ASAN, in one of my portfolio. I have about 500 shares, and I own, I think, 3 calls. They're all up nicely. It's about to break out
Nice.
because it ended at
31.
I think 31.88
31.88.
after hours, and then the 52-week high is 32.15. So just keep an eye on ticker symbol ASAN. It's a Peter Thiel company. I have December leap calls on that one.
What is Peter Thiel not into?
Dude, he's in a lot of things.
He's in everything.
I mean, here's my notion. Like, you always got to follow
Yeah.
the big money. Big money. Yeah. If they have a proven track record of successful companies, just dump your baby money in there.
True.
Like, check this out. Neuralink and what's the other company that Elon Musk, I think they're trying to bring it out.
Starlink?
Oh, I'm sorry, and not Neuralink, Starlink. I think there was rumors that they're gonna do a segment on that one.
Ooh.
Yeah. So just keep an eye on Starlink. I read it somewhere. Right now, it might be a rumor, but it might IPO. Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna get into IPO mania pretty soon too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with that being said, please follow us on Instagram at tradingdaddies.com. Please follow me at Trading Poppy. Follow John at John C Trades. Please, ask us any questions. Interact with us. We'd love to hear from you guys. Tradingdaddies.com for all the all the amazing news, all the merch, all the new episodes or whatnot. With that being said, let's get trading.